the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective. Now, something that is interesting about the Big Brother house, right? We've seen weeks like this before, where the general consensus is like, we know who's going home because this is the person that has been targeted for X amount of weeks. Like in most recent memory, you could say Taylor, because Taylor was targeted for I don't know how many weeks, the first few weeks of the season. And even when she was not specifically targeted, everybody was like, she can go. Like, I'm not, Taylor's always an option on the table to get rid of. And then you get to a point where if that person keeps staying by whatever reason, whether it's they win the power of veto or whether it is they win the power of veto, or whether it is that someone else wins and takes them off, or whether they reach the seat every week and people don't vote them out, it gets to a point where everybody says to themselves, this person is not likely to win Big Brother, so it might not be that important for me to get them out right now. Like, they can be taken out at a later time. And I feel like that's the point that everybody has gotten to with Keanu, where for the most part they're kind of like, you know, for the most part they're kind of like, I don't have any strong reason to get rid of Keanu anymore, and he's gonna be desperate, and if I don't vote him out, he's somebody that I can add onto the end of my alliance as a number, because he doesn't really have many people in his corner, and then he's going to feel like allegiance to me or us or to our team. And those are kind of the talks that are going on right now in the Big Brother house, because most of the discussions that I have heard have been, is it going to be Zach or is it going to be Vince going home? Now, obviously, the blockbuster leaves a variable, because Zach or Vince could win the blockbuster, leaving Keanu and the other one on the block. But even those combinations are not a sure bet anymore, I don't think. Like Keanu versus Vince or Keanu versus Zach. I don't think those are as sure as they were at the beginning of the week and the end of last week, really. Not really the beginning of the week, but the end of last week when the HOH was decided. But in terms of like Zach versus Vince, I've heard a lot of different discussions about where these votes are going to go, and some of them I've heard that it would be 5-5 with Ava splitting, with Ava making the decision on the split, and I've heard like 6-4. I haven't heard anything that sounds like it's going to be unanimous or close to unanimous. On the feed yesterday, there's a lot of Zach. Zach was inexplicably sitting up with Lauren, and their discussion did not seem to be too much on the game. And I'm thinking to myself, it should be, because yeah, you like Lauren. I don't know, she may or may not like you, but she's rather aloof, you know. Like, she seems to enjoy your company, but I haven't gotten any romance vibes. I haven't seen any like romance vibes between them, and yeah, like, I don't know. Haven't seen no romance vibes, and I'm not even convinced, honestly, that if Zach and Vinny were on the block together, that she would pick Zach to stay. Because, like, whenever I see Zach talking to Lauren, it just seems like if he's not flirting with her, God, you are off this channel. Yeah, if he's not flirting with her, he's talking to her about, oh, Morgan said this, or Ashley said this, or this is the ways that Ashley and Morgan have made advances at me. Like, everything that he says to Lauren seems more him trying to further his cause with Lauren on a personal level versus him trying to secure his position in the game. Because, I mean, we've seen people before that they like somebody and then they kind of leverage their big brother relationship to have the person work with them, vote with them, campaign to keep them in the game, etc. But this doesn't give me those vibes. This just gives me the vibes of, like, Zach just wants to be there and find love. Love Island. Now, the other thing, there's another thing. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Orientation is. How do I flip this back over? There we go. Where's your Labubu? What in the world is Labubu? Anyways, alright. If I had to make predictions, let me see. I mean, I'd probably rather see Wednesday's episode before I do that, but I want to say, I mean, I know that Keanu has to lose eventually, but I kind of want to say Keanu wins the blockbuster again, and Zach goes home. Because I feel like, I know there's the fake tears and the fake crying and everything, but I feel like Vince has done a better job of campaigning than Zach. Zach is kind of acting like he's God's gift to this planet Earth. And he's God's gift to Big Brother. And he's very narrow sighted and he's just focused on Lauren. He's stuck up Lauren's rear end. And he's so far, so deep that he can't see the sunshine. So, I have, like, as of now, I have Zach going home, but Zach has as good a chance as anyone to win the blockbuster, and probably Vinny does too. It all depends. But it seems like for the most part, the blockbuster requires you to be quick because it's all quick 2 minute or less type challenges. So Keanu seems to be both strong and mentally sharp. Now, I'm not going to be the one who's going as far as to call him a cop beast. I'm not going to say that because to me, the types of cops you win and against who matters more than the volume. Like, Michael from BB24, that was a cop beast. Jag from BB25, to me, he was not a cop beast. Because I have to examine his competition. So, as I was talking about in my really early live, after this week, the women are going to be 8-4 ratio to the men, and we're going to see if going forward, well, I guess if a man wins, which I feel like the odds are in favor of a man winning, even though there's half of them. Um, Ava can't compete, so there's going to be 7 women and 4 men competing in that HOH, and if a man wins, it would be in a man's best interest to get rid of one of the ladies. But these men are so, I don't know though. Like the men that are left, I don't think that any of the men that are left really have beef like that. But I think that Vinny wants to get. I think that Riley would like to get Zach out if Zach happens to stay. So it's going to be an interesting week. We got 2 more days. The days kind of seem to drag on for me, to tell you the truth. Hi, Charicity. But they have been a little action packed at times. You know what I like about this season, and I could be just totally off, but season 25, because this is always the one that I reference. I remember how fast paced that season was for the first 30 days, to where I was like, sure, I love all the action. People were telling me I love all the action, and I'm like, but this is a 100-day season, so I'm sitting here and I'm like, if they're this action packed in 30 days, probably when we get to 60, 70 days, they're going to be hella burnt out. And they were. The show is so hard to watch, like about day 70 and on. And I know people generally get burnt out, but they get burnt out super fast when they're doing too much too early. So I felt like this season was looking like it was getting off to that type of start. But then I feel like they kind of slowed down and got into more of a groove in the game, and now they are more settled in. And yeah, yeah. So my whole point of saying all that is that I feel like there's potential for things to speed up and heat up, and I think that this season is about to start cooking with the whole divide between Morgan and not Morgan. Well, yeah, Morgan and Mickey and Rachel, and the divide between Ashley and Morgan and Mickey, and then the relationships with Mickey and Riley. And like I feel like there's so much tension brewing right now. And then, like the ticking time bomb with Riley and everything, the Riley Catherine relationship. I feel like there's just so much big things that are getting ready to happen. I really do. Really, really do. Um, I wanted Vinny gone, but honestly, I'm happy with every outcome. I'm happy with any outcome, to tell you the truth. But I'd rather it be Vinny or Zach versus Keanu, just because, not even because I'm some big Keanu fan or anything, just because I think that it would be the harder choice and the more interesting choice if they had to pick between Vinny and Zach. Yeah, people are drawing lines for sure. For sure. Well, I'm getting ready to hop off this thing because I'm going to listen to music for my last 10 minutes of this ride. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think, who you want to see go home, who you think is going to go home, who you would rather see win the BB Blockbuster. And as always, thanks for your support. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content.